Welcome to the Ben Daniel podcast where we're calling a spade a spade. Lin Dunn, she needed to get fired yesterday. In fact, May 1st, Lin Dunn needed to get fired. Now that's what I would have told you about 3 hours ago. Folks, I've had a change of heart. I'm sorry. I've had a change of heart and I'm going to explain why. I'm one of the biggest critics on this Lin Dunn, CHRISTIE sides train. So if I'm having a change of heart, please, just hear me out, okay? Just hear me out. Do I like the roster Lin Dunn put together for Caitlin Clark? Absolutely not. Do I like the coach she put in place for Caitlin Clark? Absolutely not. Do I like that publicly she always endorses CHRISTIE sides? Absolutely not. But do I think behind closed doors, maybe Lin Dunn said, CHRISTIE, what the hell are you doing? Do I think behind closed doors, Lin Dunn may have called the league and said, you see all these cheap shots that are going on with my number one draft pick? Do you see all these dirty basketball plays? Do you see all these non-basketball plays? Do you see these clear, racially motivated targets on my number one draft picks? Can we do something about that? Normally, I would say, I don't think Lin Dunn does that. However, new information presents itself, and you need to sometimes modify your position. In case you guys don't remember, this is Lin Dunn appearing on the Dan Dage show speaking about calling CHRISTIE and getting some answers. Let's take a listen here.
I got to ask you because people are killing me, so I'm going to ask. After the game, apparently Caitlin Clark said she doesn't get any information during the game. She wished she could. I mean, I heard her say it, and I'm like, well, wait a second. What does that mean? Of course everybody's coaching her during the game, right? I mean, let's clear that up.
Well, I can't clear it up because I hadn't had a chance to talk to her or the coach. But I will assure you I will get a clarification on that as soon as I get to Phoenix. They're already in Phoenix ahead of me. I'm still in Seattle. But I'll figure out exactly what that comment meant, and we can discuss it next week.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
All right, so there she is saying, you know what? I don't know exactly what we're talking about, but I can assure you that I will call CHRISTIE sides and I will get an answer on that next time we talk next week. Now that also, just in case you guys don't know, Lin Dunn is a frequent guest on the Dan Dage show. They are frequently in conversation with each other. They're in contact with each other. They're consistently talking. So Dan Dage might have some insight that we might not have. But that's Lin Dunn saying, you know what, I'm going to call CHRISTIE and I'll get back to you. Folks, since that day, that was when they went to Phoenix for the first time they played the Mercury. Since that day, Caitlin Clark's averages 20 points per game. She's been averaging 15.8 attempts per game, 12.5 assists per game, 6.3 rebounds per game. Since she said, you know what, I'll call CHRISTIE and I'll get back to you, since she said that, Caitlin Clark's been averaging 20, 12, and 6. So whatever issue may have been going on, I think Lin Dunn actually is about that. I think she said, CHRISTIE, what the hell is going on out here? Are you not coaching? Now I'm saying that to say this. When I see what Dan Dage says today, while watching his show, he alludes that Lin Dunn maybe called the league and said, hey, can we slow down some of these unnecessary attacks? Let's take a listen here.
It was said to her many times, the word white biatch was said to her so many times that the Fever had to get with the league and say, what are we doing? Are we supporting racism? Is that what we do? And the league had to shut it down.
Okay, before we let this continue to play, If Dan Dage is saying the Fever had to partner with the league, that is information being provided by him from somebody that works with the Fever who, wait, he has a weekly guest? That's the general manager of the Fever on his show, and he's saying that the blatant hits, the dirty hits, the racially charged plays have gone to such an egregious point that the Indiana Fever partnered with the league, and the league were like, all right, let's temper it down, ladies, temper it down. That should speak volumes in itself. I think we may have been too hard on Lin Dunn. I think it's CHRISTIE Sides needs to go. Lin Dunn might be saying the right things in public. Only time will tell when the offseason comes, when we see if we do anything different with the roster, if we do get a new coach in there. But hindsight's 50. Looking in right now, I'm starting to think, you know what? Maybe Lin Dunn isn't the issue. Maybe it's just her brain dead coach that doesn't know what she's doing. Let's let this play out, because there's something else that Dan Dage says that also makes me feel like Lin Dunn might be getting the short end of the stick.
Then all of a sudden, oh, wait, the uproar. Nobody's at press conferences for the women's basketball team over in Paris. Nobody shows at their stuff. I guess they play today and nobody cares. Oh, wait a second. You mean they would have if Caitlin Clark was there? Duh, when last seen, Caitlin Clark was hanging out in Mexico. I talked to the general manager of the Fever, Lin Dunn, the other day, and she's like, good for Caitlin Clark. She'll be on enough Olympic teams. We would have loved for her to have been on, but hey, that's the way it goes. Now, Lin Dunn stopped short of saying Jeep, but let's...
Now, in case you guys don't know, Jeep is an acronym for whatever, and politics. He goes on further in the interview to explain. But if he's saying that Lin Dunn is pretty much saying read between the lines, it's politics. If he's saying that Lin Dunn went to the league and said, hey, let's cut some of this unnecessary garbage out. And if we have proof previously of Lin Dunn saying, hey, I'll call CHRISTIE and I'll get to the bottom of this. And then Caitlin Clark turns around, gives us 20 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds per game since that point. Folks, this is the Ben Daniel Podcast. We need to call a spade a spade. Trust me, I love firing off on Lin Dunn and CHRISTIE Sides. I love it. It's fun for me. But when I hear things that I'm hearing now, when I'm seeing things that I'm seeing, and she's saying, yeah, I'll call CHRISTIE, and suddenly Caitlin Clark's now getting her 15 attempts. Suddenly now Caitlin Clark's getting 20 points per game, 12 assists. The call may have been put in. Don't fuck this up, CHRISTIE, or you're fucking done. That might have been the call. It's the Ben Daniel Podcast where we're calling a spade a spade. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I appreciate all of the support. Take it easy, guys. See you later.